Sometimes the market looks clear, but the entries still turn out negative. Sometimes too early, sometimes too late. Sometimes you get knocked out by noise. So SuperTrend is one of the simplest trend indicators because it shows everything with one line. Where the trend is up, where it is down, and where it makes sense to build support or resistance area. Today we'll break down how it works, what its settings are, and why it is good in strength and weaker in flat market. And how to use it together with other tools to make the right decisions. SuperTrend is a trend line that is drawn directly on the chart and changes color. When the line is green and located below the price, it is read as an uptrend. And when the line is red and above the price, this is a downtrend. And important here, the indicator gives a visually very clear picture, but it doesn't predict, it reacts to price movement. SuperTrend is built on volatility. It uses ATR and multiplier. And this way, the line breathes. With high volatility, it is further from the price. So with low volatility, it's closer. And in fact, the line works as a dynamic reference point. In an uptrend, as a support, in a downtrend, as a resistance. The interpretation of signals is highly straightforward. Price above the line, the regime is more likely bullish. The price below the line, the regime is more likely bearish. And the most noticeable moment is when the line switches and changes color. So this is a signal of a possible trend change or at least a change in the phase of movement. But it is important to remember, guys, like any trend indicator, SuperTrend can lag and it reacts to movement, not predicts it. My calm logic, the first, you just wait for the candle to close with a new color or side. The second, only then look for entry, either on a small pullback or on the next confirming candle. And expiration. So it is important that the expiration matches the time frame. So I use a simple rule: 2-3 candles. So if you're on the 1 minute time frame, the expiration time is always 3 minutes. And if on the 5-minute time frame, the expiration time is 10-15 minutes. SuperTrend is a trend tool and it needs a little time for the movement to realize itself and not close in a random pullback. Settings: how to make the indicator faster or calmer. So SuperTrend has two settings: ATR period and multiplier. On many platforms, the default is ATR around 7 to 13 and multiplier is 3. If you make the indicator more sensitive, so smaller ATR and or smaller multiplier, there will be more signals, but the noise will also increase. So if you make it calmer, so larger ATR and larger multiplier, there will be fewer signals, but they are usually cleaner. SuperTrend doesn't show the strength of the trend and can make mistakes in sideways market, so it works better in combinations. And my simple confirmation options like exponential moving average, so we trade only in the direction relative to the average, and ADX if there is no trend. SuperTrend signals are more often noise, so every side or stochastic as a timing on a pullback within the trend. SuperTrend gives the up or down regime. Confirmation increases the quality of the trade. And guys, by the way, on my channel there are already videos with a detailed breakdown of these indicators. So if you want to understand how they work, I will leave links to those videos below this video. So my small prediction is that after watching this and the other videos, you will easily just be able to choose the right strategy for yourself, guys, and your next trading will be much more confident, I'm sure, in this. And guys, if you want, just write the word strategy in the comments and I will record my real trading for you and just trying to demonstrate my strategy based on the SuperTrend indicator. 3 points that are important to remember. So SuperTrend lags. It doesn't catch the ideal peaks and bottoms of a trend. And in sideways markets, it gives false signals. So the settings need to be adjusted to the trading format and time frame. So there is no versatile magic. So therefore, my framework is just chart, format, then signal, then confirmation, and finally the expiration. In short, SuperTrend is a very clear line that helps you quickly see the trend and use it as a dynamic reference point for risk. But the quality of signals depends on the market and conventions. So now I'll move on to the practice and show several examples of correct trading with this indicator. Well, let's move on to the analysis of the SuperTrend indicator. So today, guys, I'm trading on the daily market. Good volatility is present on almost every asset there. So I'm gonna open trades with a 3-minute expiration time as usual and conduct the initial analysis on the 1-minute time frame. And my trade amount here is $50. So I'm gonna open from 1 to 3 trades, so we'll see how the situation develops. So perhaps only one position will be needed if the situation allows it, and where I can talk more and explain everything in more detail. So I think that will be enough. So let's select our indicator. So this is how it looks. A line above, a line below, an indicator for selling, an indicator for buying, and right away for my trading format, we'll change the period and set it to 20. We just don't change the multiplier at all. We also don't change the style and leave it as default. And we will add one more indicator because using only SuperTrend makes it quite difficult to find an entry point. So we'll add a moving average and also configure it as well. We choose the exponential moving average and also set the period to 20. In the style tab, we will change the color and the size of the moving average. So this format of indicator suits me completely. So I start analysis, and as soon as I find a suitable entry point, I'll return to you, my dears. Let's go. And let's stop on this currency pair. This is the Australian dollar and the Swiss franc. And despite the fact that we're already seeing quite strong upward dynamics, I'm gonna open a trade here upward as well, just continuing the upward trend. And we can also look at the currency pair Australian dollar to United States dollar, where we'll also see upward dynamics. So Australian dollar to Canadian dollar also shows upward dynamics in relation to the Australian dollar. So therefore, overall, we'll probably open a trade here. There are 20 seconds left until the end of the current candle. So we see some pullback, right? Yep, some pullback candle here. And it is possible that we'll open additional trade. I don't exclude that possibility. Let's open the position. So now let's look at what we are paying attention to here. So let's check the movement on the 5-minute time frame. We see a potential reversal in the dynamics. After updating the global low, the price crossed the exponential moving average from just bottom to top. And in general, this entry point suits me well. And if we look at it more globally, we are opening the trade during a trend reversal. On the 1-minute time frame, our trend is already visible. So here we can draw a trend line from this global low. And this is how I'm just drawing it. And in general, we have a fairly good touch point. So let's change the color to turquoise. Or maybe this one looks better. So what else can we notice here, guys? On the 1-minute time frame, the SuperTrend indicator just shows a buy position, and this line represents our support area. So that means if we see a pullback in the movement, we will open an additional trade. While the trade is running, let me just explain it in more detail. Here we had a good correction, and as I already mentioned, we see the changing of dynamics and a change in the trend. So our support area is the level from which the price can theoretically bounce. So in other words, if the price moves downward, theoretically we can see a reversal and then a further movement upward. And in case we open an additional trade, and if the price reaches the moving average, we'll also trade from the moving average. So, and we may also consider another conditional, another just additional trade upward. Overall, this turned out to be a very good entry point in my opinion, guys, because on other periods we also see good upward volume, and as already mentioned in relation to the Australian dollar. Well, so that's basically it. So we'll probably open one more trade. So I don't see a need for a more detailed explanation here for now. Um, and we're about 15 seconds left. So hopefully there will be no sharp impulses, don't worry. And great, so the trade worked out good. It was quite tense, but the position lost in profit. So we didn't see any more upward impulses during the next 3 minutes. So considering that the position was open in a rather complex structured movement. So let me just explain why. Because there had already been strong upward dynamics, and a much better entry would have been somewhere here, or maybe here, or here. But we opened approximately at this level, so the main entry points were missed, but nevertheless, the position still closed in profit. I'm not gonna say too much here, so let's choose the next asset and then analyze one more entry point. So will come back here as soon as I find a suitable setup. Well, guys, don't forget to join my Telegram group, and also don't miss the chance to get deeper knowledge in trading and learn together with others. And you know just that I regularly share articles on various trading topics, updates from the trading world, and a bit of my lifestyle too, so I'm sure that you won't get bored there. And you know, if you want to become a part of my team, I get an exclusive Traders Club where every trader receives personal trading advice and 24/7 support. So plus there is daily trading sessions with me and my team. So what should you do? To apply, just send me a private message with Rachel Club Plus, and either I or my manager will get back to you. So guys, now let's get back to trading. Well, let's stop on this currency pair. This is the United States dollar against the Canadian dollar. So earlier, I already opened trades here and conducted analysis using another indicator. So you also guys can see that video on the YouTube channel. And here I plan to open another trade downward in the direction of the trend. And you know, like with the appearance of a new candle, I'm gonna open the position right now. And by the way, guys, in the indicator review, that when I conducted the analysis, you know, I saw that the movement dynamics would go downward, breaking all the trend lines. And that is exactly what happened. So let's remove all this too so we can analyze the current entry point in more detail. And the logic here will be the following. So let's highlight the working area. We fixed the previously existing upward trend in this area. Then the trend changes and moves downward. And after that, the movement goes upward again, and now we see the appearance of upward trend again. So that means in this area there was some kind of trading activity, yep, a small consolidation area. And now we focus our attention on these two moments. So the price reaction was the following. It didn't move higher, but instead moved downward, and this is a response to the previous movement. And here, SuperTrend also shows us downward movement. So there is such a resistance area that this indicator demonstrates. And once again, guys, we focus on our moving average, and overall we understand that the pullback dynamics reach our support area. And right now we just have, yeah, exactly here and here, yep. And right now we have a pullback, but I assume that this level has been broken and a new structural global low for this exact section of the movement has been formed. So we see that this pullback, but I think the further dynamics will continue moving downward. I already conducted an analysis on this currency pair, and I'm confident that the further movement should go downward. Yep. So I'm pretty sure in this. And what else? So SuperTrend also helps here. We clearly see the reaction from the resistance area according to the SuperTrend. And let's wait a little more. So it's quite a tense moment, but nevertheless, the trade so closes in profit. Good. Excellent. So our two positions worked out well, in my opinion. So let me once again demonstrate the reaction from the resistance area. There were three good touches here, yeah. So first, we analyzed the global dynamics, and then we looked more closely at the trading period itself. So the video I recorded earlier on this currency pair should also be on my channel, according to the envelope. Yep. So you can watch it a detailed analysis of this asset there. So you will see. We just return to this. Yep. So we just see a pullback, movement downward, then another pullback, again movement downward, and the third touch. So guys, as you can see, the movement went lower, and this is how we closed the trade in profit without any issues. All these were the two positions. Yep, this is quite a simple indicator for determining the trend and the support and resistance area. So it also shows the theoretical signals for a change in movement. So here is the sell, yeah, and here is the buy. In theory, you can open positions upward or downward. So guys, combine these indicator with oscillators that confirm entry points such as RSI, ADX, stochastic, or possibly CSI. So overall, SuperTrend is designed exactly for this, just to determine the trend and key zones. So guys, I hope I explained everything clearly. And there is not really much to go very deep into here. Overall, it's quite a simple indicator. So this is how you can use it. If there are still any unclear questions for you, leave comments in the description under this video. So by the way, I'll also leave the link below this video where I analyze these currency pairs. So if you're interested, go and watch it for sure. And if you'd like to see the detailed trading using this indicator, just write the word strategy in the comments below, guys, and I will see that, and I'll be sure to record such a trading session. So that's it for the practical part, guys. Thanks all of you for watching. So this is how SuperTrend works in real time. So we didn't catch every reversal, but first check the market regime, waited for confirmation, and only then enter it with an expiration of 2 or 3 candles on the 1-minute time frame. So this is why the trade turned out calm and, most importantly, correct. So the main idea is simple. SuperTrend is a filter of the trend and direction, not an entry button. So guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to trade in sessions like this in my private community with me and my team, you know where to find me. So all the necessary links below this video. Just write me. See you. Bye.